What's up, everyone? Going live from Portland, Oregon on this beautiful, cold, blustery winter day. Um, I was going to be down in California right now for my second session of attending Pacifica for my degree in counseling psychology, but I am not in California right now because Pacifica is closed because there's really intense wildfires going on right now in Southern California, which is pretty crazy. All my friends in Ojai, Ventura, Santa Barbara, definitely thinking of all of you. So yeah, I would have been down right now going to school and attending classes, but the campuses are actually evacuated. So I am still up here in Portland. Um, so yeah, I almost didn't make this video this week. Yeah, I usually try to shoot for making a video on Wednesday, but today's Friday, and just have basically been in this space of like feeling um, really blocked and like feeling a lot of heaviness kind of weighing down on me from a lot of different angles, just um, too many angles to really discuss right now, but like, yeah, just feeling a lot of heaviness this week and kind of struggling. And it's just been some really interesting reflection for me of what it's like to be in a place of struggle and what it's like to be in a place of just feeling not 100%. And yeah, just reflecting how easy it is just for me personally to get into a space of anxiety or struggle, or just feeling blocked. I guess I can say that I've just felt really blocked for the past week. And I think it's been a result of a few things. First of all, there's all these things going on in my life right now. I'm moving into a really incredibly beautiful house, which I'm really excited about. I'm working on a bunch of school projects, all sorts of things. So I think just the amount of things going on in my world has kind of like short-circuited me a little bit. Have also just been like kind of coming up against some bureaucratic frustrations with regards to school, working with financial aid and basically all this kind of formal bureaucratic identity verification stuff, which just feels like this kind of endless loop of bureaucracy, has felt really stifling. And then just an aspect of basically trying to format papers for graduate level APA formatting, and that's just been this whole other journey of frustration and trying to get my computer to cooperate with the Microsoft Word template that we're supposed to be adhering to has just been like this ridiculously frustrating journey and battle of like trying to make my writing like flow. And it's been a really interesting experience because usually if I sit down to write something, it can kind of just flow really easily, but having to figure out a way to have my computer work with this like weird formatting structure has been like this really stifling thing that's just basically left me feeling blocked. and it's given me some really interesting like material to think about, and to think about just the sensation of being blocked and the sensation of feeling like somehow not okay. And really just kind of thinking about how easy it is to stay in this kind of cycle of feeling blocked and shut off and shut down. And it's like I said, I almost didn't do this video because I felt like I had nothing to talk about and felt like I wasn't in a place where I wanted to share my thoughts and feelings or any of that. And that I kind of just witnessed that become this sort of self-perpetuating cycle of I don't feel creative, so I won't create anything, and kind of this self-perpetuating negative cycle of basically kind of this entropic, like eating itself energy that really just wants to like bring me down. And yeah, sometimes I feel like that's an energy that is kind of like descending on our world right now. Everything going on like politically and environmentally and socially, there's just so much heaviness right now. And it's really sometimes gets to be sometimes too much for me. And sometimes I shut down. So I'm just doing this video right now to just like break through whatever this kind of like heavy cloud is that can really easily descend on me. And it made me think of like creativity in general, and creativity as this kind of flow and this force. And think about creative people and creative geniuses who I know struggled in their life, like Vincent van Gogh and Kurt Cobain and all these incredible people whose work has like lived for so many years beyond them, and how they dealt with, you know, being really struggling with life. And it actually made me think there's this really wonderful quote from Vincent van Gogh, and he says, if you hear a voice in you saying that you can't paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced. So that's basically my reason for doing this video, is I had a voice in me saying that, you know, right now you have nothing to say, right now you're blocked and stifled and not in the flow. So I'm basically just doing this to attempt to kind of break through that that energy. And it's just, yeah, like I said, being in this space for the past week has given me a lot of material to think about just what it's like to be struggling to just flow with life, and what it's like to just feel okay. And for me, it's really easy to feel blocked. It's really easy to feel like stifled and shut down, and kind of play into the stories of anxiety and worry and all these things. And that's really easy. It's really hard to feel in the flow, and it's really hard to like feel good all the time. And I think that's kind of the journey that most people I know are on, is basically just like fighting the battle to feel good and to feel okay. And I think it's not really fair to pretend like it's easy to feel okay. It's not. It's a constant battle. And when I hear people I know, you know, share about how they're struggling, and that they're just, life feels like a struggle. You know, it's true. It's a struggle to just feel okay sometimes. And I think my intention is just to give voice to that, and basically to speak to the fact that that's okay. you know, and to speak to the fact that like everyone struggles to feel okay at times. And really just like, you know, speaking to myself, like myself speaking to myself, to remind me and hopefully to remind whoever watches this that like it's okay to struggle with feeling okay. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with being in struggle, and there's nothing wrong with feeling like you're in a battle to just kind of get through life. I don't think it's okay to stay in that place. I think staying in that place becomes a problem, you know, when our lives start to be affected by that kind of energy. But it's okay to like to struggle and to move through things and to be raw and vulnerable and honest about the fact that like our lives aren't what we would like them to be, or our lives aren't these kind of manicured, perfect, beautiful things all the time that social media would have us believe is what we're supposed to look like all the time, you know, or what we're supposed to feel like all the time. It's just given me a lot of time to think about also social media and just like how, you know, this technology is like a tool that we can use for so many different things, you know. And I think as long as we can use it as a tool for authenticity and vulnerability and helping each other, then it's great, you know. So yeah, don't really have much else to say besides the fact that I'm sad I'm not down in Southern California right now, and that my heart goes out to all my friends down there in Santa Barbara and Ojai and the LA area. So yeah, that's a huge struggle, you know, like just thinking about the fact that my house isn't in danger of being burned down, you know, and there's not like wildfires encroaching in my neighborhood is amazing, you know. So just to all my friends down there, want to send them a lot of love, and hopefully they get some rain soon. So yeah, that's really all I got today. No profound insights or profound sharing, or like, you know, just basically trying to be vulnerable and be real about the fact that sometimes, you know, I don't have anything significant to say. But instead of letting that get me down, and instead of letting that shut me down, just naming it, and hopefully in being able to kind of just open and name that, you know, maybe other folks who watch this at some point who might find themselves in some sort of cycle of self-criticism or some sort of cycle of judgment on themselves can just let that go, because you don't always need to be perfect, and you don't always need to have something meaningful or something you know, valuable that you're offering. Sometimes you can just be, and let that be okay. So that's all I got for you. Hopefully this next video will be from my new house. So much love.